Hey everyone! If you love shocking revenge and betrayal stories that keep you hooked till the end, hit that subscribe button right now. We drop new ones every single day. My name is Sarah and I'm 28 years old. Life hasn't always been easy for me, but I've built something beautiful out of the chaos. I live in a cozy suburb just outside Chicago, where the streets are lined with maple trees that turn fiery red in the fall. I'm a single mom to my 5-year-old son, Tommy, who's the light of my world. Tommy has these big blue eyes that sparkle with curiosity, and his laughter could melt the coldest heart. Being a mom at my age wasn't part of the plan. I got pregnant young, right after high school, and Tommy's dad bailed before he was even born. But I've made it work, juggling a job as a graphic designer from home while raising him. My family. That's where things get complicated. I come from what looks like the perfect Midwestern clan on the outside. My parents, John and Martha, have been married for 35 years. Dad's a retired mechanic, the strong, silent type who fixes everything with his hands and a quiet wisdom. Mom's the homemaker, always baking pies and organizing family gatherings. Then there's my older sister Lisa. She's 32, stunningly beautiful with her long blonde hair and sharp features, but beneath that polished exterior is a storm of envy and resentment. Lisa and I were never close growing up. She was the golden child, straight A's, prom queen, the one who went to college on a scholarship. I was the troublemaker, the one who partied a bit too much and ended up with Tommy. Lisa never let me forget it. She'd make snide comments about my mistakes. At every family dinner, always positioning herself as the successful one. She works as a marketing executive now, drives a fancy BMW, and posts her perfect life on social media nonstop. But lately, things had been tense. Lisa had just gone through a messy breakup with her fiancé, who left her for someone younger. She was spiraling, drinking more, and her jealousy toward my simple happiness with Tommy was palpable. I'd catch her staring at us during visits, her eyes narrowing like she wished she could trade places. Despite it all, I tried to keep the peace. Family is family, right? Tommy's 5th birthday was coming up, and I wanted it to be special. He'd been obsessed with superheroes lately, so I planned a backyard party with a Batman theme. I saved up for months to buy him the gifts he dreamed about: a remote-control Batmobile, a full Batman costume, action figures, and even a custom cake shaped like the bat signal. I invited the whole family, plus Tommy's little friends from preschool and their parents, about 20 people in total. Dad helped me set up the decorations, stringing lights and blowing up balloons. "This is gonna be great, kiddo," he said, patting my shoulder. Mom baked cookies and even Lisa promised to come, saying she'd bring a surprise for Tommy. The day before the party, I felt a knot in my stomach. Lisa had called me, her voice slur from what I suspected was wine. So, another party for the little prince. Must be nice to have everyone fawning over your kid. I brushed it off, telling her we couldn't wait to see her. But deep down, I knew something was off. Little did I know that surprise would turn our family upside down. As the party morning arrived, the sun shone brightly, and the backyard buzzed with excitement. Tommy woke up bouncing on his bed, chanting, "It's my birthday! It's my birthday!" I dressed him in his favorite superhero shirt and we headed downstairs. Guests started arriving, kids with presents wrapped in colorful paper, parents chatting over coffee. Dad manned the grill, flipping burgers, while Mom set out the snacks. Lisa showed up fashionably late, strutting in with oversized sunglasses and a designer bag. She handed Tommy a small, hastily wrapped box. "Here you go, squirt," she said, ruffling his hair a bit too roughly. Tommy beamed and added it to the growing pile of gifts on the table. The party was in full swing, kids playing games, laughter echoing. It was time for presents. Tommy sat in the center, eyes wide as I helped him unwrap each one. The Batmobile zoomed across the grass, eliciting oohs and ahs. Then came Lisa's turn. Tommy tore open her box to reveal a cheap dollar-store toy car, half broken already. His face fell for a second, but he politely said, "Thank you, Aunt Lisa." She smirked, sipping her drink. "No problem. Not everyone can afford the fancy stuff." That's when it started. As Tommy reached for the next gift, Lisa accidentally knocked her elbow into the table. A present tumbled to the ground. "Oops," she giggled. But she didn't stop. She grabbed another one, pretending to inspect it, then dropped it hard, cracking the box. The guests chuckled nervously at first, thinking it was a joke. Emboldened, Lisa escalated. "Let's see what's in this one," she exclaimed, smashing a wrapped action figure under her heel. The crunch echoed. Tommy's lower lip trembled. "Aunt Lisa, stop!" he cried, but the guests, Some of Lisa's old friends from high school started laughing. "Oh, Lisa, you're hilarious!" one said. "Classic Lisa prank," another chimed in. My blood boiled as she continued, breaking gift after gift. The costume ripped. The figures shattered. Tommy burst into tears, clinging to me. "Mommy, why is she doing that?" I scooped him up, glaring at Lisa. "What the hell is wrong with you?" I shouted. She just laughed harder, her eyes wild. "Lighten up, Sarah. It's just stuff. Your kid's spoiled anyway." Dad had been watching from the grill, his face darkening like a storm cloud. He set down the spatula and walked over slowly. The laughter died as he approached. "Lisa," he said quietly, "that's enough." She rolled her eyes. "Dad, it's a joke." Sarah's overreacting as usual, but Dad's expression was stone cold. He helped me console Tommy, whispering, "Don't worry, son. We'll fix this." As the party awkwardly wrapped up, guests leaving with murmurs of discomfort, I felt betrayed to my core. My own sister had ruined my son's special day, and no one stopped her. But Dad, he had that look in his eye, the one that said justice was coming. The aftermath of the party left me reeling. Tommy cried himself to sleep that night, clutching the few unbroken remnants of his gifts, a single action figure and a torn card. I sat on the edge of his bed, stroking his hair, my heart breaking. How could Lisa do this? And why did everyone laugh? It felt like a nightmare, the kind where your family turns into strangers right before your eyes. The next morning, I confronted Mom over coffee. "How could you let her do that?" I asked, my voice shaking. Mom sighed, stirring her mug. "Lisa's going through a tough time, honey." The breakup hit her hard. "She's just lashing out." I slammed my cup down. "Lashing out?" She destroyed Tommy's birthday, and those friends of hers laughed like it was entertainment. Mom avoided my gaze. "You know Lisa's always been the dramatic one. Give her time." I couldn't let it go. I texted Lisa. "What you did was cruel. Apologize to Tommy." Her reply came quick. "Get over it. He has enough toys. Maybe if you weren't such a failure, you'd understand real problems." The words stung like a slap. Failure. I'd worked my ass off to provide for Tommy, without handouts. Lisa, on the other hand, had everything handed to her, college paid for, job connections from Dad's friends. Yet she resented me for finding joy in motherhood. Dad was quieter about it all. He spent the day in his garage workshop, tinkering with old tools. When I checked on him, he was polishing an antique watch, his brows furrowed. "Dad, are you okay?" I asked. He looked up, his eyes steady. "I'm fine, Sarah. But what Lisa did, it's not right. Family doesn't hurt family like that." I nodded, tears welling. "What do we do?" He paused, then said, "Sometimes the truth has a way of coming out. Just trust me." Little did I know, Dad had been harboring suspicions about Lisa for months. He'd noticed odd things, her lavish spending despite complaining about money, late night calls she hid, and a growing distance from the family. After the party, he started digging quietly. He checked old family accounts, talked to mutual friends under the guise of casual chats. What he uncovered shocked even him. It turned out Lisa had been living a double life. Her successful marketing job, a facade. She'd been fired 6 months ago for embezzling petty cash, small amounts, but enough to get blacklisted. Instead of telling us, she'd been dipping into a secret fund, our grandparents' inheritance trust. Grandpa had left a modest sum for each grandchild, managed by Dad as trustee. Lisa had forged documents to withdraw funds early, claiming emergencies. She'd blown it on clothes trips, and that BMW worse, she'd been spreading lies about me to her friends, saying I was milking the family for support, which explained why they laughed at the party. They thought it was payback. Dad confided this to me a week later, showing me bank statements he'd pulled. "I didn't want to believe it," he said, his voice heavy. "But the evidence is here." My anger turned to fury. "She ruined Tommy's day out of spite, while stealing from us." Dad nodded. "And there's more. She's been seeing her ex's best friend, plotting to get even with him by sabotaging his business, using company secrets she stole before getting fired. We decided to keep it quiet for now. Tommy deserved a do-over party, so I planned a small one just for us. But Lisa, she acted like nothing happened, posting selfies online with captions like, "Living my best life." It made my blood boil. As days passed, Dad's plan began to form. "Revenge isn't about violence," he said. "It's about exposure. Let the truth do the work." Meanwhile, Lisa kept pushing. She showed up unannounced one evening, demanding to borrow money from Mom for rent. When Mom hesitated, Lisa snapped, "You always favor Sarah and her brat. What about me?" Dad overheard from the hall, his jaw clenching. That night he made calls to the bank to Lisa's former boss, even to a family lawyer. The net was closing. Tommy started asking questions. Why was Aunt Lisa mean? I'd hug him and say, sometimes people are sad inside. But inside, I was seething. The betrayal wasn't just the gifts. It was years of her undermining me, now culminating in theft and lies. Dad promised she'll learn. And it'll shock her to her core. With the truth about Lisa's deceptions laid bare, Dad and I spent the next few weeks in hushed conversations, plotting our response. We didn't want petty revenge. We wanted justice that would force her to face herself. Dad, with his mechanic's precision, approached it like fixing a broken engine. Identify the fault, replace the parts, test the system. First, we secured the evidence. Dad hired a private investigator friend from his old days at the shop, a discreet guy named Mike who owed him a favor. Mike dug deeper emails from Lisa's work laptop, showing her sharing confidential client data with her ex's rival company. There were texts to her new fling, bragging about screwing over her old boss. And the inheritance, forged signatures on withdrawal forms, totaling over 20,000 siphoned off. I focused on Tommy. We threw him a makeup party at a local park, with new gifts I scraped together. His smile returned, but the scar lingered. Will Aunt Lisa come and break things again? He asked innocently. No, sweetie, I replied. She's not invited this time. Inside, I vowed she'd pay. Lisa, oblivious, kept up her act. She called me one day, voice saccharine. Hey sis, sorry about the party. I was stressed. Let's grab lunch, my treat. I played along. Sure. When? We met at a cafe, where she prattled on about her busy job and exciting projects. I nodded, recording the conversation discreetly on my phone. When she mentioned needing loan for a work trip, I smiled. Talk to Dad about the family fund? That planted the seed. Lisa went to Dad next, batting her eyelashes. Daddy, can I access a bit more from Grandpa's trust? Just temporary. Dad feigned consideration. Let's discuss it at a family meeting. Invite everyone, even your friends from the party. The meeting was set for Sunday dinner at our parents' house. Lisa arrived with two of her laughing cronies from the party, thinking it was a casual affair. Mom cooked roast, the table set perfectly. Tommy played in the living room, wary of Lisa. As we sat, Dad cleared his throat. Before we eat, some family business. He pulled out a folder, laying out the bank statements. Lisa, you've been withdrawing from the trust without permission. Her face paled. What? No, It was emergencies, Dad continued, showing the forgeries. And your job. You were fired for theft. Her friends shifted uncomfortably. Lisa laughed nervously. This is a joke. Right, Sarah put you up to this? I spoke up. No, Lisa. We know about the lies, the stolen secrets, everything. Dad played my recording, her boasts echoing. Then, the bombshell Mike's report on her sabotage plans. Lisa's eyes darted. You can't prove that? But Dad had already notified her ex-boss and the authorities quietly to give her a chance to confess. Her friends excused themselves, mumbling apologies. We had no idea. One said. Lisa exploded. You traitors! After all I've done for this family. Dad stood firm. What you've done is betray us. Apologize to Sarah and Tommy, or face consequences. She stormed out, slamming the door. But that was just the beginning. Dad had one more layer he'd arranged for her. Perfect life. Post to be exposed. Using anonymous tips, her social media circle learned the truth. Friends unfollowing, job prospects drying up. After the family meeting, Lisa went radio silent. No calls, no texts. Just bitter posts online about toxic families. But Dad wasn't done. Exposure is step one, he said. Now we make it stick? We consulted the lawyer, who advised pressing charges for forgery but suggested mediation first. Give her a rope to hang herself. Dad mused. I threw myself into work, designing logos to distract from the drama. Tommy started kindergarten, his resilience amazing me. Aunt Lisa is in time out, he said one day, making me chuckle. But the hurt lingered. Dad's revenge escalated subtly. He accidentally shared the evidence with a mutual family friend who ran a local newsletter. Soon, whispers spread in our small community. Lisa's BMW was repossessed. Turns out payments were from the stolen funds. Her new boyfriend ghosted her after an anonymous email with proof of her schemes. We invited her back for reconciliation. Desperate, she came, looking haggard. Fine, I'm sorry, she muttered to Tommy. But Dad had a condition: repay the money, get help for her issues. She agreed superficially, but we knew she was plotting. The real shock came at her comeback event, a party she threw to rebuild her image. Dad and I attended, blending in. Midway, Dad stood toasting to truth. Then, he revealed everything publicly, projecting documents on a screen he'd set up. Gasps filled the room. Lisa's world shattered as guests left in droves. The party revelation was Dad's masterstroke. As slides flipped, bank records, emails, texts, Lisa's face drained of color. "How dare you?" she screamed. But the damage was done. Her ex-boss was there, invited anonymously. He confronted her about the stolen secrets. Police arrived later, tipped off about the embezzlement. Lisa was arrested for fraud, her life unraveling. The community shunned her, jobs vanished. She moved away, starting over in a small apartment, working retail, humbled. For us, it was closure. Dad explained. "Revenge isn't hate, it's balance." I hugged him. "Thanks, Dad." Tommy got new gifts, but the real gift was peace. Months later, life normalized. Lisa reached out once, genuinely apologetic after therapy. We forgave cautiously, boundaries firm. I met someone new, a kind teacher who adored Tommy. Dad enjoyed retirement, teaching Tommy to fix bikes. The shock of Dad's revenge taught us all betrayal has consequences, but family can heal. Tommy's next birthday is joyous, no shadows. And Lisa, she rebuilt slowly, learning humility. In the end, justice prevailed, shocking but necessary. If you enjoyed this satisfying revenge story, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new story every single day.